Good afternoon, my people, and thank you for coming back to another Tony Montana video. It's been a couple of months, but we're here. We're doing our best to take care of our dogs, deal with the situation of everyday, hustling and bustling. But we're here. I hope that those that have American Pitbull Terriers, true to form, do keep them healthy, happy, and safely. You guys that have been in the dogs for more than a day know that there's a big prosecution or a persecution rather of American Pitbull Terriers and their owners. And unfortunately, we need more good people to have these dogs. There's plenty in the community, but also there is a portion of the community that they're doing other things in between the dogs, or while with the dogs that obviously gets eyes in onto them, rather gets eyes onto them that have originally nothing to do with the pit bulls, but obviously the American Pitbull Terriers end up being taking as well as anything else that they were looking into. But anyway, I'm just wanted to say hello. I also wanted to say hello to Derek. Derek made a comment on a previous video that I posted in Spanish. Basically asking, hey, I see the dog is sleeping on the couch, and there's another dog over there. He's 2 years old. This one's three, and there's a cat that came by, and like, oh, so the Derek thought that because I guess his idea of a game-bred dog, let's use the word game-bred dog, uh, has to be wild. There's a cat. Uh, has to be wild with everything. Has to be nuts with everything. And I tell Derek on my post, on my comment, that she is like a banshee. She's a very animal aggressive, extremely animal aggressive. However, she is also socialized. What did that mean? Obviously, when I was making the comment in Spanish, I was saying that I can't have this dog and this dog together in the same room. Obviously, not. I'm not risking the part about having it outside the cage, but at least they're not fighting the cage to get at each other. He came very young, and that she was here. And when he came, obviously she gave her the test of, do you think you're man enough, type of thing. And the dog was a pup, so the dog didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So I'm like, all right. They basically she let it go. So now at this point, they see each other. They're not, they're okay. No aggression, nothing. But if I put this dog outside, sees a dog or sees a cat, sees a squirrel, sees anything, she's going to start going crazy like a banshee. She's very animal aggressive, So and then she's very, she obviously sometimes I need to take her out of that situation, because then she gets too amped up, and she wants to be let go to go get at that dog. So you have to be, you have to read the dog, and be able to communicate with the dog. And in this instance with the cat was grown, was an adult when this dog was born. So the cat was around all the puppies, uh, and the puppies got to know that cat and play with that cat, and be respectful of that cat at some point, that to the point that when the female doesn't do it, but the male, one of the males, brother to this one, would come and kind of like play too hard, too rough with the cat. The cat will give it a little smack with the paw, pa pa pa. You could hear it, and the dog will just, all right, and that's it. And to me, it's very surprising that the people say, hey, well, then they see a home of a pet mentality on a game bred dog, and say, oh, he must be cold, or he must be no good. And I literally today saw, and not the first time, but I saw again a video of there was like 5, 6 tigers that were raised by a Labrador, I think it was a dog, Labrador, a Labrador Retriever, and now they're grown tigers, but they still listen to the dog, even though they're like 3 times the size. I can't understand why people think that those animals can do it, but American peoples can't. It does make me wonder why do you think that the American people terrier can't be a pet? Obviously with limitations. You have to be understanding of the limitations according to the what you bred the dog to do. For example, or the cat. For example, I know this cat has prey drive. So if it sees any animal in the mouse, it definitely not going to last here. Um, I can't bring a bird because that would be something that would trigger their natural tendencies, genetic tendencies. So I'm not going to be taking my dogs to, especially as adults. She's over 3 years old. Uh, I'm not going to be taking my dog to a dog park because there's going, even if there I had the training enough to teach the dog, I'll help the dog redirect that tendency of to fight. But in a dog park, it will be impossible. One will do something that would trigger an aggressive reaction, or worse, a dominant reaction, and then it'll be a full fight, at least on my dog's behalf. So I keep the dogs as tired as possible so that they can basically, you know, not be amped up. Anyway, I hope that this is something that helps understand the nature of an animal and the nature of the American Pitbull Terrier, game bred. Like I said, all my dogs are animal aggressive. They're just not aggressive in the house with the dogs they already know. Obviously, I do have to keep her from looking at her brother. They don't like each other, so I tend to close the dog's eyes and will, basically cover the dog while I might be going through like an area they can see each other, and so it is what it is. Sometimes you have to read the room. You have to read the room and see what's what, and it's always easier not to do, teach this, or try to be as teach them to be social, but in the 21st century, that yard full of dogs really is not going to cut it for too long. So people will have to learn how to cohabitate with the American Pitbull Terrier. Yet literally being, and in this point, I think it's going to help have only the people that do enjoy living with the dogs have these dogs, and have them out. You see some people that have breeding dogs and call themselves the best, but then you never see them with the dog. You only see, you hear the dogs in cages, but the dogs are never walking around being, dogs. And you have to pay attention to not just what the person that you're potentially going to buy a dog from, but what they're doing, their action, their surroundings, and ask the tough questions. And if they don't want to answer, or if they get upset about the questions, then that's a big sign that you're not in the right place. Okay. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying my videos. There's a ton of videos from the past. I guess I can do more. If you want to ask a couple of questions about what type of conversation you want to have, I do like to teach things about dogs, and things that I won't teach is kind of like reading the dog isn't something that I won't do, because the people that are against me and have talked junk about me have listened to those videos, have learned from those videos, and obviously they made themselves better, but with no appreciation from to the teacher, which is me. Anyway, this is Tony Montana. Until next time.